everybody. It's me, Carmine DiStefano, the Bookman. And this is the third annual Year in Review, where I take all the titles from 2014 and split them up into 8 distinct categories of honor or dishonor. So let's see who made the cut this year. Starting with... Most Ambitious. Destiny. When a crew known specifically for one franchise veers from that franchise to remake its ideas with some fresh ones in an MMORPG-style first-person shooter, that's ambitious. Destiny covers all bases, from extensive quests you can tackle with others to upgradable characters and equipment, varying enemy types, and an engaging storyline. It was built to carry on for years to come, willing further play with a Crucible arena and new DLC. If I can only actually get enough Crucible points to buy good gear. Whether or not it's your flavor, you cannot deny that Bungie put all their cards on the table and went for broke with the idea it would change the gaming scope. Next! Surest Bet. Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. I know Nintendo released its incomparable Donkey Kong Country and addictive Mario Kart 8, but having countless heroes, heroines, and mascots kicking ass in an over-the-top action fighting game with tons of play modes cannot go wrong. The game plays great, runs slick, and connects with all who want to beat each other up with tons of maneuvers and combos that fit each character perfectly. They've had an abundance of titles under the umbrella and haven't gotten it wrong ever. I know what I was getting myself into, and they didn't disappoint. Next. Most Coveted. Elder Scrolls Online for Xbox One and PS4. Listen, I know what you're about to say. Primetime Stevie B tells me all the time. I cannot have it on my PC, so I pre-ordered it on the PS4 when I got the PS4 in April. Its release then was set for June 30th. It is now the end of the year, and they still don't have an official release date! Are you fucking joking? Well, sometime in 2015, this game is finally supposed to come out. Watching many like Steve on his Beer Bong Gin channel on Twitch has only gotten me more psyched. Enough with the cock teasing! Give me a tangible date! Let me get an idea when I'll finally have it on my console. This way, I know what I'll look forward to, aside from the dozens of other 2015 releases I'm excited about. Next! Least Coveted. Assassin's Creed. I don't care if it's Rogue, Unity, Colonoscopy. Every Assassin's Creed game ends up being the same thing. 15 to 25 hours of starting wars through historical figures you hardly knew existed, sneaking around, eavesdropping 1,000 times, ridiculously repetitive missions that fail to deliver a semblance of payoff. By now you know how it goes. Some brooding sap loses a family member or 3 and goes off on a revenge tour. Throw in unnecessary shit in the modern era that leads to another egregious plot hole, rinse and repeat. The series brought nothing but Ezio and his family. Aside from that, nothing makes sense, nothing connects, the controls suck, turning assassins into revolutionists and playing as the hated Templars does absolutely dick to make me want to hop back on board. If you like it, hey, God bless. I can dwell comfortably without it. Next! Most Frustrating. Lords of the Fallen. This thing redefines the term frustrating. There were instances I could claim lives due to the lazy-ass, shameless attempt at creating challenge by simply overwhelming the player with tremendously unfair odds. I love a good challenge. I can admit fault when my fault has caused my downfall. When battles take 20 minutes and then new enemies sneak up or pop up out of nowhere, that's bullshit. When a tough boss has countless respawning minions constantly attacking, that's a farce. When enemies heal or endlessly hack away while 2 strikes from you makes your character dry heave, throw in the towel. The game has decent moments, but 2 areas causing 30 hours of dying and getting lost is simply not worth it. I was happy when it was over and happier when I got rid of it. I'll be the judge. This game blows. Most disappointing. Middleearth: Shadow of Mordor. Now, that's not to say this was a bad game. I thought it was pretty good. That's the problem. It was pretty good. You think, Arkham style with swords and arrows in Mordor? That's winning formula written all over. However, it had aspects too reminiscent of Assassin's Creed. The controls were kind of inconsistent, and there were too many stealth missions. Also, there wasn't enough Lord of the Rings to give it a Lord of the Rings feel. Smeagol, Sauron's voice, and a shit ton of orcs didn't make me feel like I was in Mordor. You know, Mordor. What about running into a young Aragorn, or seeing more of Gondor, perhaps Denethor, Legolas, or more than simply mounting Caragors and slaughtering orcs? It's okay, but not a true killer game. With the setup and build-up, I expected a lot more. Next. Most pleasant surprise. Bayonetta II. For a concept that seems so juvenile and perverted, for a game with an insane amount of sexual references both discreet and blatant, for a character that seems to have little going for her other than being hot, powerful, and naked, this game blew me away. The controls are like silk, its images are astounding, its characters are incredibly deep and likable, and the game itself, amazing. Every aspect, including the side quests and the unlockables, are flat out brilliant. The co-op is a good sub-game, and playing with non-playables, especially Rodan, kicks ass. I absolutely look forward to finding what I missed in this beautifully done, polished, and ridiculously fun game to play. I would have totally made this the game of the year if another title didn't get released. As it stands, Bayonetta 2 has so much for all sorts of gamers. If you haven't played it, yo, get it. Play it and take me on in the multiplayer. And finally, the game of 2014 is Dragon Age Inquisition. I tell you, I have never experienced anything more thorough, customizable, or engaging as this particular game. The storyline is pure BioWare gold. A crisis coming over Thedas due to an ancient threat only discussed throughout the series. There is simply so much available for you to do. Countless side quests along with expansive maps. Romance opportunity after romance opportunity. Excellent characters with tremendous, sometimes even surprising story arcs. A shitload of options and opportunities available over a course of at least 50 hours of endless, diverse choices. Acquiring agents, killing dragons, tackling the main quest, or handling side quests. There is so much more than any RPG I've played. Yes, there are terribly goofy and distracting bugs during practically everything you do. But now playing it on the new gen port it was geared for, I see exactly how fantastic this game really is. Whatever port you prefer, whatever type of gamer you are, Dragon Age Inquisition is perfect if you don't mind taking out 80 hours to evolve a character. And that has been this year's Year in Review. What'd you think? Leave your comments below and tell me who you thought made the final cut. Until then, I wish you all a very happy new year and a bright 2015 to come. Thank you all for watching and more for you soon to come. So stay tuned, take care, and have a great day.